Hello everybody, welcome to Easy Science. இந்த சேனல் பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் ஐகானை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க. அப்போதான் புதுசா போடுற வீடியோஸோட நோட்டிபிகேஷன் உங்களுக்கு வந்து சேரும்.
Good morning, everybody. As we are in the lockdown period, schools and educational institutions have been shut down, but there is no lockdown for learning and knowledge enrichment. So keep learning and gain knowledge. Today, we are going to see about the first lesson in 10th standard, which is laws of motion. Science is a study of nature. In science, there are 4 subdivisions such as physics, chemistry, botany, and zoology. Today, we are going to see the first topic in physics. Mechanics is a branch of physics, and mechanics, it deals with the effect of forces on bodies. Mechanics is divided into 2 types, statics and dynamics. Statics means stationary. It deals with the bodies which are in rest or stationary position. Dynamics is a study of moving objects under the action of forces. Dynamics means movement. Dynamics is further divided into 2 types, kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics deals with the motion of bodies without considering the cause of motion. Kinetics deals with the motion of bodies considering the cause of motion. Force and motion. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher and scientist. Philosopher means Tattvajnani. He said that all the objects in the universe are at the position of rest, that he called it as natural motion or force independent. He said that a push or pull is needed to move a object which is at rest, that he called it as violent motion or force dependent. Next, there was another scientist known as Galileo, who was a natural philosopher, an astronomer, and mathematician. He said that the natural state of all earthly bodies is either in the state of rest or in the state of uniform motion. He said that a body in motion will continue to be in the state of motion as long as no external force is applied. He said that when a force is applied on bodies, they resist any change in their state. And this property of bodies is called inertia. So the resistive power, we call it as inertia. He even said that when dropped from a height in vacuum, bodies of different size, shape, and mass, they fall at the same rate and reach the ground at the same time. So there's an example for this. So if you take a room and fill it with the air, and you take a stone and a feather and drop it from the top, what happens is when the stone reaches the ground first, whereas the feather comes slowly and reaches the ground. When the air inside the room is evacuated and when it is filled with vacuum and the stone and the feather are again taken and dropped from the top, we see that both the stone and the feather, they reach the ground at the same time. This is the explanation for the theory what he has said. So in the first, Aristotle was a scientist who gave explanation for force and motion, and later on it was a scientist Galileo, and later on many scientists have given explanations for force and motion. Inertia. So inertia is an important topic, and it had earlier come in the last year's question paper also. So it is an important question in the 7 mark. Inertia is an inherent property of a body to resist any change in the state of rest or the state of uniform motion unless it is influenced by an external unbalanced force is known as inertia. So generally when you are sitting in a bus and the bus is in stationary position and suddenly when the bus starts moving, you lean backwards. It is because your body is stationary position and you tend to be in that stationary position that you call it as inertia. So there are 3 different types of inertia. The first one you call it as inertia of rest. Resistance of a body to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. Next one is inertia of motion. The resistance of a body to change its states of motion, that you call it as inertia of motion. As already you know, motion is known as movement. Inertia of direction. The resistance of a body to change its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. These are the examples of inertia. Inertia of motion, an athlete running very fast um, actually jumps a longer distance and a longer height. This is known as inertia of motion. In the same way, next one is inertia of direction. A car taking a steep turn during which the person inside leans sideways. This you call it as inertia of direction. The next one is inertia of rest. When the branches of a tree are shaken violently, the fruits on the tree fall down. That you call it as inertia of rest, because the fruits, they tend to be in that stationary position. Next one is an activity, an experiment to demonstrate inertia of rest. So you take a tumbler, fill it with water, and place a cardboard on top of it, and you place a coin on top of it. When you flick the cardboard or remove the cardboard very fast, what happens? The coin that is placed on the surface of the cardboard falls into the tumbler. This is because the coin tends to be in that stationary position. This you call it as inertia of rest. Next one is linear momentum. Linear momentum is a product of mass and velocity of a moving body, and it gives the magnitude of a linear momentum. It acts in the direction of the velocity of the objects. So linear momentum is equal to the product of mass and velocity. And linear momentum is denoted by the letter P, and mass is denoted by the letter M, and velocity is denoted by the letter V. Linear momentum is a vector quantity. As already you know, vector is one which has magnitude and direction. Unit of momentum is in SI system, International Standard System of Units. It is kilogram meter second minus 1. And in CGS system, centimeter gram second system, it is gram centimeter second minus 1. Next is Newton's laws of motion. Newton was a scientist who, when he was sitting in the garden, saw apple fall from the tree, and he started thinking, saying, why does the apple fall down? Why can't it go up? What is the reason for coming down? So thus he found out the laws of motion and gravitation. So Newton's first law, what does it say? This law states that every body continues to be in the state of rest or the state of uniform motion along a straight line unless it is acted upon by some external force. So this Newton's first law has two parts. The first part says that every body continues to be in the state of rest or in motion. The second part says that when it is acted upon by external force only, it can move from the rest position or it can stop from the movement, object in movement. Next one, it also says, this Newton first law also says the definition of force and the definition of inertia. Next one is force. What is force? Force is generally a push or pull. We call it as force. Force produces or try to produce a motion of a static body. It stops or tries to stop a moving body. It changes or tries to change the direction of the motion of a moving body. Force is a vector quantity. As already I told you, vector is one which has both magnitude and direction. Types of forces. There are two types of forces, namely like parallel forces and unlike parallel forces. Like parallel forces, when two or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction parallel to each other, they are called as like parallel forces. So you see two persons pushing a luggage, and it takes place in the same direction. So you call it as like parallel forces. Unlike parallel forces, if two or more unequal forces act along opposite direction parallel to each other, they are called unlike parallel forces. So tug of war is an example of unlike parallel forces. So forces takes place in the opposite direction. Okay, that you call it as unlike parallel forces. Next one is resultant force. When several forces act simultaneously on the same body, then the combined effect of the multiple forces can be represented by a single force, which is termed as resultant force. So the resultant force acting on a body is equal to 0 when the body is in equilibrium. That you call it as balanced force. And the resultant force is not equal to 0 it causes motion of the body that you call it as unbalanced force. An example for this is drawing water from a well, force applied on a crowbar, forces on weight balance, etc. A system can be brought to equilibrium by applying another force which is equal to the resultant force in magnitude but opposite in direction. Such force is called equilibrant action of forces. So here you see the applied force and the resultant force. The first one is like parallel forces, two forces acting in the same direction of 10 Newton and 20 Newton. So the resultant force will be 10 Newton plus 20 Newton, which is 30 Newton. Next, the second one are unlike parallel forces. One acting is 20 Newton, another one is 40 Newton. So the resultant force will be 40 minus 20, which is 20 Newton. The third sum says that there are two unlike forces acting in the opposite direction of 20 Newton and 25 Newton and 25 Newton. So the resultant force will be 25 minus 25, which is 0. So the resultant force will be 0. The remaining topics we'll see in the next class, forthcoming classes. Thank you.